How you guys doing? John, Indoor Hydroponics, Outdoor Organics, and it is spring. This is back from early May. I haven't done shit all winter. No hydroponics, no working out, just worked a ton of hours. And so I'm going to start using muscles that I haven't used since last fall. And how am I going to do that? I've got to get the garden beds prepped, guys. The beds have been sitting dormant. I just kind of weeded it out, but now it's time where we got to get some nutrients back into the soil and prepare the bed for spring and summer. It's really, really important if you're going to go with organics to get those amendments in soon so that it wakes up the bioactivity in the soil, starts breaking down those nutrients. So come plant out, you'll have more plant available nutrients for them. I got cottonseed meal, so I'm just kind of going in a few rows, my main rows. I'm going to grow tomatoes, broccoli, peppers, but I want two of my main rows going pretty good. I've got cottonseed meal, fish bone meal, all great sources of organic nitrogen. Over the last several years, I've been going strong on that, on the fish products in the soil, because I have noticed an incredible increase in plant size and yields using compost teas and fish meals and fish bone meal and crab meal. I'm also adding some azomite back into the soil. So over the last couple of years, I've been really getting into the azomite. That's got like 90 different minerals that as they break down, the plants pick up. So fish meal, crab meal, fish bone meal, kelp, cottonseed meal, and azomite. And I get that good and mixed in at least into the top foot of the garden bed. And I'm going to let this sit for just a little bit, start breaking down. Obviously, this stuff doesn't break down overnight, especially the bone meals and the crab meals. That stuff is good for calcium, but the other meals, the fish meal, kelp meal, really good for getting some nitrogen back into the soil. So I don't use a ton of the stuff, but I do get it into the bed so it starts breaking down. And of course, the most important ingredient of them all is to get a good high quality compost. I put just about 400 pounds of good high quality compost on top of the bed. I always just add it on top. I don't mix it in, so that way every time you water, that compost and that manure breaks down, and it slowly feeds your plants throughout the grow season. So we've got lots of organic amendments, lots of really good compost on there. And if you wanted, you could do nothing more to your plants other than just get them planted out. Just kind of showing that I'm adding some Dr. Earth to each planting hole. It's a good organic fertilizer with a bunch of different meals in it. But what's most important is it's inoculated with mycorrhiza. And I want to get that mycorrhiza in contact with the roots of my transplants. Mycorrhiza is absolutely phenomenal with bonding to the roots, and it creates a relationship between soil and root to help increase nutrient uptake, especially if you're growing organic. Nutrient uptake is important because you're not going to be feeding it artificial fertilizers and things of that nature, and it also helps with that water uptake. So I have noticed over the years using mycorrhiza that it works very well. Looking to get about 200 pounds of produce out of this bed. Last year produced about 160 pounds. I'm going with all big beef tomatoes, a row of broccoli in the middle, which doesn't need a whole ton of nutrients. That's why I didn't do 3 rows of nutrients. So that broccoli would be completely fine. And of course, my 18 bell peppers. Do not need to rotate crops. Don't have to do any of that stuff. I've never done it in these beds because I add more than what the plants take out year over year. They're never void of nutrients, and that's the most important thing. So guys, that's how I set up my bed this year. Lots of different organics. You can go with 1, 2. I used about 5 or 6 to get a good start to these plants. And here we are about 2 weeks later after plant out. So guys, appreciate you checking in. Hope you're having a good spring start to the summer. And as always, peace.